This podcast is powered by the pros at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPaschal.com.
Scott, welcome into the program. We're about 200 yards from Bob Walker Stadium right now, and he announces, I was just talking about Dave announcing the starting pitching rotation, at least for Friday. Mason Molina. Mason's had two really good bullpen performances, retired 15 to 16 guys. What are you expecting from the lefty from Texas Tech today?
I expect Mason to come in with the same attitude that he had coming in out of the bullpen. I think if he takes that attitude, takes it to the mound, I think he'll be successful. You know, he comes in and goes right at him. He doesn't try to see how long he can go. He wants to come in and throw every inning like it's his last. I think it'll be fantastic.
What is the transition like going from a guy that's maybe sent to the bullpen or trying to get his rhythm back to a starter? How much a change of that can you explain to us as a former pitcher?
You know, it's probably just kind of a reset more than anything else, a mental reset. He didn't lose his talent. He didn't lose his arm. He didn't lose his pitching savvy. I mean, he's a crafty left-hander, you know, and he's got some pop. I think more than anything else, it was a mental reset because as a starter, you're expected to do this. I mean, as a reliever, you know, he had to change his whole mindset. He was expected to come right out of the bullpen and get after it. Well, that's the same expectation you should have as a starter. You know, get after it the second you hit the field. I think he kind of lost that. He lost his confidence a little bit, and so he got his confidence back. That's what it looks like. He got his swagger back, Ty.
There you go. Scott Tabor with us here on the Morning Raj on the McClarty-Daniel Hotline. With Hagen Smith going in Game 2, as it appears, as the batting lineup, you know, do you feel a little more pressure? Do you have conversations that, hey, we need to get our guys back, we need to stake him to a lead? Or do you change anything about that today? Because that's one thing this team really needs to do is support the pitcher with some runs early in this ball game.
You know, as a team, you don't really change anything. The coaches may change the lineup a little bit. They may change a few workouts a little bit, going leading up into it. They get to see guys taking batting practice every day that we don't get to see, you know, and you hear all the time, well, I put so-and-so in there because, I mean, he had a great week of batting practice. I mean, they get to see how a guy's hitting the ball on a regular basis. So they'll build their lineup around who they're starting, who the other team is starting, you know, righty or lefty, and they want more lefties heavy, who they're going to bring in first, you know, as a pinch hitter and in what situations. So there's a lot of things behind the scenes that we don't get to see. You know, as a hitter and as a team, they want to jump on them early, but Arkansas is just not a jump-on-them early team. And I think that's one of the reasons Dave has always tried to get deep into the counts with hitters, and he kind of hamstrings some hitters. It takes a lot of first-pitch strikes, and you can almost see him shaking their head. Kendall Diggs, I can never feel watching him. I'm talking one right down the gut, and he took it, and everybody's, why did he take it? Well, he had the tape sign on, you know, because that's Dave's MO. He wants to get the starter out, and that's by getting deep in his pitch count. So that's just the way he works. Now, he may turn it off. You know, the other team, they go, hey, all you got to do is gut it. He's going to take one or two strikes. He may turn that off this weekend. You know, this is the second season. I mean, it's let's go get them, hit them, go get them, and cover the outfield like the morning dew. That's what Norm used to say. And so I'd like to see that. I'd like to see us come out aggressive, and I mean, put up a ton of runs and 10-run rule if they have that in the regional.
Scott, you mentioned Kendall there, and I listened to Dave. He talked about sometimes he is taking too much. So I guess it's not a call. Kendall just is not swinging the bat like he wants him to. He's talking up there yesterday. I think it sends a message to not just the fan base, but to Kendall. It's like, we have confidence in you. We want you up on the podium. We want you representing us. How do you get one of Arkansas's better hitters out of this funk, Scott?
Well, right now he's a past better hitter. Right now, he's not one of our better hitters. He's just not seeing it. He's not, and it could be a vision thing. You don't know, and he doesn't know. That could be something for FTCs to check out. But then again, you look at the kid from TCU last year, and I don't know his name, so I won't really care. He's from TCU. But he came in and, he was 8 for 11 or something in the series against us or in the Super Regional and just tore everybody up. The guy couldn't miss. And sometimes a hitter will hit a streak like that. You would love to see that to happen to Kendall Diggs. He's a great kid, and this has got to be tearing him up more than anybody else. you'd love to see him come out of his struggles, and they keep giving him every opportunity to do that. Again, they get to watch batting practice all week, and they may work on one little thing here, one little thing there, or where's your front foot, or where's your front hip, something small, and it may click, and I hope it does this weekend.
What would be your best guess on how Dave's approached the defense this week? They've been very consistent, very, at or near the top of the SEC all season long, and then in Hoover and really down the stretch at A&M had unforeseen errors, had 5 inflicted wounds last week at the SEC tournament. How do you think Dave's approached cleaning that up this week and playing cleaner baseball?
The only approach to playing cleaner baseball is just take more reps. There's going to be errors. You're going to make errors. Nobody has a perfect season fielding baseball. But the one thing that we hang our hat on is pitching and defense. And the defense was shady. I watched some of the plays up the hole. What happened? And sometimes it's a mental thing. They're sitting out in the infield, and things just aren't happening. There's not a lot of ground balls. There's a lot of strikeouts. And all of a sudden, there's a rocket hit at them. And they don't make the play. Sometimes it's a tricky hop. Sometimes it's a lot of spin. The play with the Tiger, I think we talked about it before. That's a trickier play than it looks like. Sometimes you get in a hurry. I used to always tell my son, I said, be quick, but don't be in a hurry. And sometimes you get in a hurry and you start picking your head up and look where you're going to throw it rather than fielding the ball and getting things done. I think it's just a focus thing. And hopefully he'll be refocused. This is the second season. This is what you play all season to get seated at the top, because you want to have the easiest path there according to your seed. And so that part of the season's gone. This is the second season, and this is where it all starts, and hopefully they're as excited as we are.
So you bring in Brady there. Brady not on the roster for this weekend. Cooper Dossett is done, it sounds like, for postseason. Scott, what kind of impact does that have, not just on this weekend, but if they are able to advance and move into other weekends?
Well, Tiger's a big part of this team. He's a huge part of this team, and he has been since the day he stepped on campus. He's got to be the guy that we expect him to be. Wait, did you say they left him off the roster?
Yeah, he's not going to be a part of this roster this weekend. He's
shoulder. It's a shoulder issue.
Yeah. Okay, I was going to say that, and I'm sorry, I've been hugely busy. But I didn't hear that. I didn't know that. So it's a little injury, But you've got guys to step in, and I'm a huge Cooper Dossett fan. I watched him go earlier in the year, and he's got tremendous stuff. He's still honing that skill and that mental ability to throw the ball where he wants to, get the number of reps where he can just paint the outside corner, because he's got some dynamic stuff. He's got a fantastic cutter, and so if Dossett's on, there's no drop off there. None whatsoever. He doesn't have the big breaker that Tiger has, but who does? You don't have to have that big breaking ball to be a great pitcher. And Dawson's got some good stuff, and he's shown some great innings. So, that's part of having a deep staff and part of having a deep team. We talked about at the beginning of the season, just the number of weapons and the number of toys that Van Horn has in his arsenal and has to pick from. So I think things will be okay.
Yeah, and obviously you're planning for the future with Dossett and with Tiger. He's going to be out of eligibility after this year, so you'd like to see them be a part of it, and just doesn't appear like Dossett for sure we know, but doesn't appear like Brady Tigert is very hopeful for the rest of the year. All right, have you looked at all at La Tech or Kansas State or even today's opponent in SEMO? What do you see out of the other 3 teams in this region?
Well, if we were playing SEMO in a midweek game, we would pretty much count that as a win, and we're looking to run rule. Once you get past their starter, and I guarantee you they're going to try to do everything they can to get their starter out of there and start pounding on the midweek guy, on this number 2 guy. I think our number 2 guy is better than their number 2 guy. I think their number 3 guys, our 3 guys better than their 3 guy. So, you kind of look at it one game at a time, and La Tech and Kansas State, they're going to be throwing their number 1 guys.
Yep.
You think, and they should be. And realistically, earlier in the season, earlier in the week, I always say get in and throw your best against their best and see what happens and throw number 2s against number 2s. But Molina has the stuff to be a number 1 guy. He was the number 1 guy last year at Texas Tech. So it's not like we have only one stud. We've got a lot of studs. I think it's a good choice having Molina go in. You know, and like I said, if he comes in with that mindset, we could have a pretty smooth sailing going through. We have enough guns, enough bullets in the gun to get through it.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.